Hi, it's Jason Drees, and I'm going to be covering my productivity tips today, and specifically the 30-minute power blocks process. This process was first introduced to me by an author by the name of Matthew Kimberly, and I took one of his courses, and I learned this process, and I found that this process was very helpful to making sure that you're staying productive throughout the day and also staying refreshed, because it's very easy to sit at your desk and work all day. The big challenge with that is that after about 3 hours, your productivity really starts to decline, because we need to take breaks to get refreshed. So, for example, if you had a 6-hour block of time to work, and you had option 1, which was work for 6 straight hours. Option 2 was to work for 2 hours, take a 2-hour break, and then work for 2 more for a total of 4 working hours. I think everybody knows that you'll be a lot more productive during option 2 when you're taking a 2-hour break. So one thing we need to do is really fight for our time, because our time is our limited resource. We want to make sure that we are maximizing our time in the best way possible, because that's the one resource that we never get more of. So here are some of the best tips I found to stay productive. So if we're using a time management system, RPM, Franklin Covey, any of those, that's outstanding. Where this step comes in is executing the plan that was written, and this process will really help drive you to a new level of productivity, and will also keep you refreshed during the day, so that by the end of the day and the end of the week, you're not totally brain dead and you've got some of your energy, some of your juice left for the really important things in life. So the first thing you can do for productivity tips is clean your desk. Clean your desk and everything in your desk. The problem is, if we have clutter all over our desk, regardless if we're looking at it or not, it is within our view. And when it is within your view, whether you're looking at your computer or a notebook, it is taking up energy in the process because it's there. The number two thing you need to do is avoid multitasking. I think I have heard a metric that said that multitasking after 40 minutes drops your IQ by about 10 points. So, multitasking on computers used to be much more difficult a long time ago, because computers weren't that fast. But today computers are so fast, you can have 10 windows running at the same time. And the big problem with that is we can get so many distractions and so much multitasking going on that we're not productive in what we're doing. And when we switch between task 1, task 2, or web browser, email, taking notes, we really reduce our productivity quite a bit. So, number 3 is reduce distractions and interruptions. So one thing you can do is turn off that email notification. That little pop-up window that Microsoft Outlook has that has the little bing, or the Gmail pop-up icon, is one of the worst things for productivity. We get bombarded with distractions, and it takes on average 4 minutes to recover from a distraction, and the average American worker gets 7 distractions an hour. That's literally 30 to 45 minutes of distraction trying to get back to work. So turn off your email notifications. The email notifications that I still use is I allow an icon in my system tray to pop up, so that when I look in my specific tray specifically to look there, I can see if there's mail. But turn off that email notifications. Email is not a time-sensitive media. It can wait. Work on the task at hand. Knock that thing out. Get email done later. Also, block out power time. So you've got no interruptions. You're not answering your phone. Your ringer is off. You're in do not disturb. So you are focused on getting stuff done. The phone is a wonderfully urgent device, and the problem is we always answer urgent things right away. And what we should be doing is getting the important things done first, because when we're working at our desk all day and we're trying to focus on a task, a phone call comes in, we answer that phone call, it breaks our focus, and now all of a sudden, trying to get back into that task, we're way off target, and we could literally spend 2 hours trying to finish that task. Whereas if you would have just finished working that task, and it may have taken 30, 45 minutes, you would have then had time to place phone calls and block out time for phone calls or emails or follow-ups. So that's really going to help you be more productive. And number 4, give yourself deadlines to increase productivity. I think one of the most difficult times that I've had in my life to get highly productive was when I had a wide open calendar. So if you are an independent service professional or some type of thing where your days are not full of meetings and you set your own calendar, it is very easy to be unproductive because your calendar is wide open and blank. So what you need to do is to give yourself deadlines and artificial deadlines to increase productivity. I find that if I have a day In the past, when I had a day with 1 hour of meetings, I would get less work done than if I had a day with 5 hours of meetings, because I knew in those 3 hours, that's all the time I had to crank and get stuff done. So here is a process to create artificial deadlines to help you along the way. Number one, set a timer to go off every 30 minutes. And that is going to give you an artificial deadline. You are going to be working through that time. And I found that my productivity usually skyrockets around 22, 23 minutes, and I'm the most productive from minutes 22 to 30. When that timer goes off, I stand up, I take a breather, maybe shake my body a little bit, then I hit the timer again, boom, and I keep going. At the end of 2 hours, I take a 5 or 10 minute break. And then you repeat that cycle again for 2 hours. And at the end of 4 hours, get away from what you're doing for at least 30 to 45 minutes. Step away. Don't eat through lunch. Eating through lunch is not a great idea. I know we're all guilty of it, but we will be more productive, we'll be happier, we'll be more refreshed if we do not eat during lunch. So the outline of the process looks like this. I sit down at my desk. I've already got my day planned. I've got a block of time. For the first hour, I'm working on outcome 1. For the second hour, I've got outcome 2. Maybe the third hour, I've got emails, phone calls. And then when you get that done and you're architected your day, you sit down, hit the first 30-minute timer, go, boom, I'm working on that. The timer was within view so that I can see it. At the end of the 30-minute timer, I have music that plays on my iPhone, so it's like it's a ringtone that I like. I stand up, I dance, I jump up a little bit, take a breath, sit back down, hit that 30-minute timer again, boom. Some people like to work for 2 hours straight. At the end of 2 hours, I like to take a 5-minute break. So after the second 30-minute timer goes off, I will take a 5-minute break, get away, maybe get a glass of water, come back, sit down, and really make sure that when you are taking those breaks, that 5-minute break, you are allowing yourself to have that break, because it's very easy to go on that break, run as fast as you can to get back to your desk. We need to get in balance, and we have to fight for that balance, that work-life balance. And giving yourself that break, that mental break from work, will help you stay more refreshed. Number 3, next 30-minute block, boom, I'm in, I'm cranking. Here comes the deadline, 22 minutes, 23, 24, boom, I'm just highly productive. Timer goes off. 4th block, boom, do that one again. At the end of that 4th block, end of 2 hours, take a 5, 10, or 15-minute break. And again, follow that process, give yourself that break, stop thinking about work, breathe, get out. If you can step outside for a few minutes, that is awesome. Then for the next 2-hour block, follow the exact same process. And when you get to the end of a 4-hour block, take a 30 to 45-minute break, get up, leave the desk and what you're doing. You'll be refreshed, you'll come back, and you'll be even more productive than ever before. So then there's the question of, how do I time this? So there's a couple ways that I've created to time this process. So number 1 is I use my iPhone. Number 2, I use an iPad. I prefer to use my iPad because it has a big screen. And then I can choose a ringtone that I like to hear that day, and maybe a ringtone that kind of energizes me a bit. And go into your iPhone or iPad settings or your tablet settings and turn off the screen timeout so that the screen never blanks out. iPads are great because they'll stand up vertically. It has a nice big clock. I put that right under my monitor so I can see it ticking away the whole time. It's awesome. You see that, it starts cranking down and you start to get more productive. And when you hit those blocks in a row, 30-minute block 1, boom, yes, 30-minute block 2, yes, you really start to build some momentum. You start to get a little endorphin buzz because you're hitting your checklist, you're hitting deadlines. It's really good for your subconscious and your psyche to operate in this fashion. Another way is, if you don't have an iPhone or you don't have an iPad, you can also use a website. This website, which is called eggtimer.com, which is actually e.gtimer.com, is a site that's based on, it's just a timer, that's all it is. So if you go to that website, put in the URL, and after the backslash, put the time. So if you put 5 minutes, it would be a 5-minute timer. If you put /30 minutes, it would be a 30-minute timer. And the great thing about this website is you can create a bookmark. So you could bookmark the http eggtimer.com/30 minutes, and anytime you hit that button, it starts a 30-minute timer. And that web page just is running in the background, and you go to work on whatever you're working on, email, maybe you're creating a Word document or you're writing, and when the timer goes off, it will flash a page up. It will literally pop up into your front of your screen and tell you the timer's up. The great thing about the egg timer, though, is it literally interrupts you what you're doing. So it's like, okay, 30 minutes is up. Now it's my time to stop, take a breather, and keep going. The other thing you can do to really get productive is to get accountable. Announce your project to the world. Tell people you're going to be doing this. Get additional leverage. Posting it to Facebook. Yes, every day next week I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. I'm going to exercise and I'm going to eat healthy every single day. Commit that to the world and you're giving yourself a ton of leverage. The second one is really create constraints. You know, a lot of times we default to saying yes, 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 yes. If you're in a corporate environment and subjective to a lot of meetings, one thing you can do is start saying no. So, you know, because be protective of your time, you will be more productive and be happier. And the other one is, again, block out distractions and requests. The third one, know where you're going. Have that end in mind. What is my outcome? By focusing on your outcome, you are going to be more focused on where you're after, and you're not going to get stuck following up on these tasks, because sometimes when we're focusing on tasks, we don't really know where we're going, or we lose sight of where we're going. So the other way to get more productive is to get up earlier. It's pretty simple. If you're sleeping 7-8 hours of sleep a night, sleep 5 to 6. You can do it. It's easy. The first couple days will be tired. If you have trouble getting up, put your alarm clock across the room where you can't reach it, and just commit to that. I think 5 to 7 a.m. is the magic hour, because I have small children, and between 5 to 7 a.m. is really undisturbed, highly productive time. I get that stuff done. If you've got that big, hairy outcome, that task you're working on, then you can basically go, I'm going to get that thing done, and just imagine how your day would feel when you get that thing done and it's only 7 a.m. Number 2, get in shape. Being healthier will increase your energy, and allow you to focus better and get more stuff done. Energy and eating healthy is crucial. And getting in shape, the reality there is it's 80% nutrition, 20% exercise. So eating proper nutrition will give your body more energy. You'll sleep less. You'll be more productive. Number 4 is, again, say no to meetings that are unnecessary. If you're getting pulled into meetings that are a waste of time, be sure that you ask the question, what is the outcome of this meeting, so that you can help to try to make those meetings even more productive. Number 5, avoid perfection infection. This was a Matthew Kimberley statement. I love this one. Done is better than perfect. Perfection could freeze us in our tracks because we're so concerned about the result or the decision not being correct. The reality is it doesn't matter what decision you make, because if it's wrong, you're going to correct it. So done is better than perfect is an outstanding phrase to keep in your head and to work towards, because you can always make it better, but if you're focused on perfection, you'll never get anything done. Number 6, back to the first, get up early. Getting up earlier, sleeping less will give you more hours in the day to get stuff done. Number 7, ask yourself, is what I'm doing right now getting me closer to what I want to achieve? Because we can fall into a trap where we were focused on actions that are not supporting the outcomes that we want, or supporting the results we want. And sometimes we take actions because this action is going to make me feel better, or I'm going to get significance or certainty or excitement out of this, when in reality it's not focusing and supporting the outcome that I'm after. And number 8, the other way to really get more productive is to get a coach. A good coach can help you point out patterns and beliefs that may not be productive or may be counterproductive, and really help amplify your effectiveness by getting you clear, focused on what you want, and helping align your subconscious in the way that's going to make that happen. So that is the end of my presentation today. Thank you very much for listening. If you employ these tips, I can guarantee your productivity is going to skyrocket and go through the roof. Thank you for listening. I hope you all have a great day. Bye-bye.